December 12th, Saturday. Finally getting around to doing some work here. Been working a lot at work, so I haven't had much time to do anything around the house here. So, here we are. I'm gonna just fired up the 82 here. The belts squeal really bad, so I'm gonna try and clean the pulleys up a little bit and maybe tighten up the belts. But as you can see, it's raining. I was hoping to work on some fence today, but just not feeling that. Maybe tomorrow, hopefully I'll get a break. So instead, we are in the shop. I'm actually going to fire up the heater here for the first time this winter, which I'll set up. Right now we're looking at about 40, 42 degrees in the shop here, so I'm gonna get this heater going and maybe we'll get some stuff done tonight. Put some fuel in it first. So we'll need a funnel. Definitely need a funnel. Carb cleaner in the funnel. We are cleaned up. Woo! Yeah. We'll get a full tank out of it. About 3/4. Good enough. Garbage. It's cold. It's rainy. Summertime. Going. Take it a minute to do stuff. All right. Whew. It's raining up. It's pouring. Feels good. Heater works great, but the shop is not insulated at all. It's just basically plywood walls and siding, so as you can see, it's not even finished. There's not even an interior layer. It's just studs. So it doesn't really retain the heat much, but better than nothing. Yeah. Alright, here we are under the hood. Got the heater warming up the shop. It's pouring rain. Well, not really pouring, but enough to get me wet, so I'm hiding under the hood. So these are the belts. It's got new belts on it. Just runs 2. This thing squeals really bad. Sometimes the squeal goes away, sometimes it won't at all. So I'm going to, for one, the pulleys are all really rusty. And 2, the crank pulley. Sorry, this camera sucks in the low light. Crank pulley down there has actually got some dents and dings in it, which might be affecting it. So I'm going to pull these belts off real quick and clean the pulleys up a little bit. And then re-tighten them. They seem like they might be a little loose. So, alright, we got the old belts off. See, they are actually, one is a little thicker than the other still. These are the same exact belt, same part number. Where are we at? There you go. You can see one has a little bit more width to it, so I think they are wearing out prematurely here. So what we're looking at down here, I've got light now. You can see the pulleys are pretty rusty, so it makes for a pretty rough surface. They're not riding on in a smooth area. This one here, yeah, that's probably the one that's been slipping, because you can see all the belt material there building up. And you can see some, oops, look way down there, you can see some dents and almost cracks on that pulley down there on the crank. So that's not good for it. But I'm going to try and clean it up a little bit. Alright, I was sanding these down by hand using the sandpaper and trying to have something to get into the V of the pulley. Nose, I don't know if you can see that. Focus, focus. It's getting it, but it's taking forever. That rust is really thick on there. I don't know if you can see on the back side. I'm working on the inside pulley now. But I was like, I need to find a power tool. So I finally remembered my angle grinder, and I have this big nasty wire wheel on it. So get that into those V's and it should make it easier. It's not entirely easier. It's working. It's trying. Hitting the nose with a wire. Ow! Got my safety glasses on. Make sure it didn't stick in my nose. Looks like it got me a little, huh? Safety glasses. So I'm gonna do that. It's easier than doing it by hand. I'll keep going over it. Alright, here we are. You know, I forgot this camera has a light I can turn on. Look at that, it works pretty good, huh? So, using that angle grinder worked actually pretty good. Worked really good. Got all those cleaned up. That one still doesn't look good. It's got all the high stuff off. You can see a shiny spot there where it's worn. Had to do that one by hand because the angle grinder wouldn't fit in this little spot. I did the power steering pump. That one looks real good now. I couldn't do crankshaft. It's just too far down there for me to get to the dents. I can barely get a hammer in there to even tap them. So they're just gonna have to stay there. Those guys. So someday I plan on hopping up this motor a little bit, so it's going to require the front end to come apart anyways, to put a camshaft in, stuff like that. So I'll probably just get a whole new pulley at that time. But for now I'm getting rained on. It's actually just blowing the water out of the trees right now. If you can tell, I probably can't hold it steady enough, but it's pretty windy out. Yeah, there's some trees blowing around. Woo. It's kind of cold. It's getting dark. I'm gonna put these belts back on and see how it works, and then call it quits for the night out here. Alright, sorry for any wind noise. Belts are back on. Got them nice and tight. Hope they're not too tight. We're gonna fire it up here and see if the squeal went away. More belt squeal. Running a little rough. Hasn't been running in a while, so a lot of stuff needs to clear out and whatnot. Choke is probably all out of cattywampus. But there you go. No more squeal. Hopefully I can drive her around a little bit more now. Woo! Chug. There it goes. Smoke is from, oops, starting to pop. Smoke is just some water, moisture that's collecting on a wrap I got on the exhaust over there to keep the starter from getting hot. So, yeah, it's kind of nasty.